All right, Barlow Brigade, welcome back to the HQ for everything Barlow. Today we're going to go over a pattern that has become near and dear to my heart. I showed y'all this knife yesterday. On my Frosty Fry, little frost muskrat pattern. It's a short 3.5 inch pattern, very snappy. I say it's a good one. I mean, the dyeing job's not real consistent, but I don't think you can beat that little frost knife right there. I stuck in a whatnot auction. I think I gave $3 for it. So it was a good buy. Okay, got it coming in. Let's do a little on Deep South Cutlery Anvil. Let's do a little eye candy. This is a medium toothpick. Same deal. Stuck in the auction. But guys, look, I paid $8 or $9 for this knife. Look at the back spring, how wide that back spring is. You can't buy that much carbon steel for $7. $8, whatever I got. I don't remember what I gave for it. But just a wonderful knife, very slicey, which all toothpicks are. Very slicey pattern, very nice knife. I feel sure that, I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. I'm not really a toothpick collector, but I bought that one just because I'm collecting the carbon steel series, the ones in yellow Delvin. Probably get the carbon steel 2 series also, get it going. Okay, muskrats. I got several laid out on the table here, but let's go over a little bit of the history. Okay, to me, on the trapper pattern. Oh, and by the way, guys, when you go to, if you buy a knife from Deep South Cutlery, you need to get them to throw you in a bag of that coffee. And the reason I'm saying that is because in my mug, which I have tagged with that thing, is a cup of Bolster blend coffee. If you go on there and buy you a knife, you need to get them to throw you a bag of that coffee in there. It'll change your life. And here's why I'm saying that. Go the last 3 or 4 videos that my brother HT has put out. He's been drinking this coffee. And the last video he did yesterday, the one about the 7OT old timer comparison to the Buck 110, he does a shout out to me about the coffee. So it's okay. Go listen to him. Y'all ain't got to listen to me. Y'all know I'm a Deep South fanboy. So, all right, we'll get on now. Muskrats. Whenever I look at a knife that's 4, 4.8, 4.25 inches long, and it has 2 blades, to me, trapper comes to my mind. So one of the biggest websites that has to do with trappers is called Knives of Alaska. Very informative. So I went on there and I typed in muskrat, and it came back with the term companion knife. So Knives of Alaska calls this the companion knife or the muskrat. And they say that the knife came around in the late 1800s to the early 1900s. And it was a knife that, like a trapper, had 2 blades, but it's also equal end. So they call it an equal end trapper knife, or companion, or muskrat. So, but go over there. They have, you can read on there what they tell you about the muskrat on Knives of Alaska. Very informative website. Very. Okay. Number 2 is Case. Now, Case has been making this particular pattern, I think, since about 1930, maybe late 20s or 30s. It's always been, to them, they call it a double end jackknife. Or a muskrat trapper. If you go to any of the master dealer websites, you're going to get this information. They tell you that it's like I say, it's a equal end jackknife or a muskrat trapper. It is the same size as the 47 pattern Stockman. Okay, they never gave it a tang stamp or a tang number on the tang stamp. It's always been a muskrat, just straight muskrat. And I believe they did that to open it up to where if they wanted to make the other patterns that I'm going to show you here, that you would be able to, they would not have to differentiate between the, let's say, one with a spay blade or one with a worn clip or whatever they came up with for the other blade other than the standard clip blade. So, and usually theirs was 3 7/8 inches long. And last, which will introduce the first knife here, is Schrade. Now, Schrade's been making the muskrat for a long time. I couldn't really pin down a definite start date or an end date, but it has always had the tang stamp number 75. All right, what got me fired up on this entire muskrat deal was this knife that I pulled in from Deep South Cutlery. It was missing the tang stamp. You'll see that it's probably, with the way the Schrade is printed on there, that this is a Chinese knife. But that doesn't cut down on the quality. Schrade always insists, just like all these other manufacturers, that the quality be there. Okay, so I had to do a very deep cleaning. Got the blades all good and shiny. Got them polished. But this is what got me about the muskrat pattern. Are y'all ready? Oh yeah. Now I got this for $5 out of the dungeon. Okay, so there you go. There's the Schrade number 77 equal end jack muskrat. Very, very, very great knife. And as I slide that up there, y'all see this 865 sticker and this Knife Brotherhood and the Muskrat Mafia. Well, OG made some comments in my drop I did yesterday about the frost knife. So the reason, it's all this OG, all that kind of stuff. Man, I'm almost 70 years old. I ain't never been affiliated. Don't know if he was. Doesn't matter. But when somebody calls themselves an OG, to me, I give them respect. So I'm doing this out of respect. I had a whole different video up for today, but he asked me about it in the comment, said he was waiting on it, said he wanted to see it. So, OG, it's for you, brother. All right, coming in next now, y'all know Queen. Everybody knows Queen. Okay, this is their Queen City product. Okay, and this is definitely made in China. I don't know if y'all can see Dan Edwards. I don't want him to get me. Hey, Brother Dan, hope you're doing good, brother. All right, there's the Queen stamp, or I guess they call it a etching. Got the nice little shield in there, but this has a traditional. Right now, they call this the moose. I'm not gonna get in an argument with y'all about moose rat, moose this, moose that. Brother HT calls his big Remington, the big 4 3/8 or 4 1/4 inch knives. He calls them moose rat, and they have this configuration. I totally agree, Brother HT. I totally agree. But that's what Remington calls it. There's a lot of leeway with these manufacturers and what they call this knife. But once again, let's get in there where you fit in there. Got all the snap. Okay, but this has a different blade. To me, this is a conventional blade. It's not a Turkish type blade. But I want y'all to look at this bone. Y'all see that smoky gray coming? And this is getting darker and darker as I have this knife. Y'all see that in there? Man, that's just beautiful. All smoky, and I know it looks, they're trying to do copy the Winterbottom bone stuff that they did back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But once again, this is a 4-inch, a great looking muskrat. That's what we're going to call it. All right, coming in next, there is a variation that I particularly like. because I'm a Warrenclyffe guy. I love the Warrenclyffe blade. So this is coming in. This is a Rough Rider. They're denim. There's a blue jean denim micarta. Got the red liner, slanted bolster with the R on there. Beautiful little knife. It's coming in. See, it's not quite just. It's the 3 and 7/8 version, but they call this the Hallbaker. Oh, here we go now. Y'all got to give me a break, man. Sometimes I got to have my knife pick to get these muskrats open. I don't even know if I can do it with a knife pick. I'll do it left-handed. There you go. Now this is what I'm calling California clip. Okay, beautiful blade. This has a satin finish. It's a Rough Rider tank stamp. But I'm gonna pause the thing on this one and show y'all. You see, this has the Warrenclyffe. Very sexy. But to me, just one of them. This is a work knife blade. I mean, a work knife blade. Yep, right there. Again, it's not in. It's not. It's a satin finish. It's not your highly polished version there. But once again, guys, you got to go with the. I mean, y'all can. I hope y'all can hear that, man. It's got the half stops, but not all of them do. Okay, now so far, all these I have showed you have been modified muskrats. Okay, modified muskrat has two back springs, and the reason they've done this is over time, single bladed, which are true muskrats, they have single springs, and usually high carbon steel. So all of these, including the Frosty, the Shrey, and the Queen, have all had 2 back springs, and they are modified muskrats. Okay, now, the other day, I went to a gun show down in Biloxi, Mississippi, and I've already shared these knives with y'all. I'm not going to go into the complete breakdown of this particular knife, but I am going to show it to y'all because it's relevant to the last knife, or what I call the one I'm going to show y'all just gives me all the giggles, all the sizzle, everything that makes me a knife collector. This is the Parker Frost muskrat. It's called the Johnny Muskrat. Make sure I get that in there for y'all. Johnny Muskrat. This is part of a numbered set. This is 762. Just an absolutely stunning knife, and it is a conventional muskrat. And I'm not going to do it because I'm telling y'all not to do it, so I'm not going to do it. When you have these knives open, don't open both springs and point them up like the hook 'em horn. Why? Because all that pressure is on that single spring. Okay? These knives have single springs. So if you have both knives open, they are bending that spring back into a horseshoe, into a point to where they could break. That's why none of these knives right here have single springs, because they were tired of fixing them under warranty for breaking spring when people will try to do what I'm not going to do, if that makes sense. Anyway, y'all can hear that up there, sure. Just about every muskrat. Now, this don't have near the tiger snap that the single blade ones do, but it has it'll get you. Okay, so this knife right here, I picked up early in the day on Biloxi, and on the way home from the knife show, as I normally do, I stopped at Deep South Cutlery. They're in the middle of a big, they redid their building, they expanded. It's now a super duper better place. So I can't tell y'all enough about Deep South Cutlery and Brother Billy Red Bond down there. Just can't do it. And his son Seth. While I was looking through the dungeon, I found this bad boy. Buck knives. All right. Now, for those of you that know, I ain't got to say nothing to y'all about this. Y'all know. single back spring. It's a conventional. Got a little teeners on there. Big double brass liners. And Lord have mercy. Now this is a user. Okay? It's a user. Let's see. Let me get the old HT open on it. Let's see. Y'all ready? I heard that. I'll do it again. That's how much I like it. One more time. That's right. Y'all look at that blade. Now, I ran over it with the 800, but it still got some scratches in there. That don't bother me at all. I don't care. This is a pre-1986. That's before they started putting the codes on the tank stamp. And that's one of the reasons I love it. But let's see if I can get my thing in here. There it is. Look here, guys. Well, come on, Jim. There it is. One more time. I ain't the best paper cutter in the world. There you go. So, even though this knife's probably close to 50 years old, it'll do what it's supposed to do. Beautiful buck shield. That closing snap. I had to do a little work on it. I had to do some research, but I fixed it when I got it. Okay, now this is called a muskrat. I know it's got a spade blade on it. This is called a muskrat. That's what Buck calls it, not me. So the moose buck, the muskrat, the buck, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. Now you'll see where that bird's eye pull is right there. I got it raised up, and it does stick up a little bit. And I had to go on several websites to find a solution to my problem. But that kick has been ground down way too much, and it was down below. So I took you can see it. Let me see if I can get it where y'all can see it. You can see it down in there. I don't know if that's going to show or not. I took a small piece of leather and slithered it off, put a dab of super glue on it, and put it back down in there to where I can get it open. Okay? Now, whether that's something y'all, I mean, it could fall out at any time. With this kind of spring, I mean, it could pop off there, but it hadn't for me so far. Turn this knife back into just a beautiful knife. So there you go, guys. There's my take on the muskrat, the moose rat, the equal end jack trapper, whatever you want to call it. They are wonderful knives. I started with this red one right here, and now I'll probably have, I don't know, I probably have 15. I love them that much. Right now, I got all kind of bubbles and all kind of stuff going off in my head about this bad boy right here, because it's hall marker right here. That's just a sexy blade. It's got a little serpentine to the back of it. I'm telling you, and it's got the snapperoonie Hall Baker. Y'all might want to remember that. That's a pattern that you know, if you don't like the two California clips, you can get in there with that. All right, guys, I went to let me, just because I look over here to my right and there's something screaming at me. Dude's been screaming at me. See, that dude runs the show right here. And dude's been screaming at me the whole time. I just didn't have time to listen because I'm trying to read my notes and cut the cards and all like that. But he was going, what about that one? What about that one? What about that one? Okay, we're going to do a little call out here for Brother Aaron. And that's AW Custom Design. He sent me this knife. This is a Rough Rider modified muskrat. Has the two blades on there. This started life as a white, smooth bone. Well, darn it, white, smooth bone muskrat. Okay, one of the early ones. Well, I want to cut myself right here in front of y'all, but I'm gonna get this one open because it means that much to me. Okay, Brother Aaron, y'all know I ain't got to say nothing else about him. Y'all look at that bad boy. Look at that jig work. Look at that, man. Just look at that little burn job, dye job. Man, I only pray. Well, I don't really pray, but I only hope someday I can be this good. Okay, listen to this. Oh yeah. Okay, Brother Aaron, you the man. We'll put him up here. We'll put him in the center. Okay, excuse my language, guy. That's badass right there. Y'all hear me? That's badass. All right, guys. I have yesterday I went to town, came home. There was something sitting in my driveway. I live in a very small town, so the UPS guy just dropped it right in the middle of my carport. I pulled up there and looked at it, took a picture, and then I had everything came back to me. What the questions that were asked, the things that were said, and it's gonna change me, man. It's gonna change my knife production. It's gonna change what I do. I'm not gonna share it with y'all. It'll happen. I'm not trying to tease y'all with that. That's not a tease at all. I'm just telling you what I got yesterday from UPS was amazing, and it's going to change the production value here at Barlow Brigade. Now, I am going to tease y'all, though. I know y'all, some of y'all may like that, some of y'all may not, but I'm going to bring this in from the left, and I'm going to give y'all a look at it. And I'll have the complete story whenever I do my drop on it. And I don't know when that'll be, but here it comes. I ain't going to go fast, but I ain't going to go slow either. I wasn't shopping for that knife. I wasn't looking for that knife. I traded a knife I had about $30 in and $20 for that knife right there. There's none on the internet that I can see, I can find. You can find it in Delrin. You can find it in black, green, yellow. I don't know what all, but you can't find it like that I can find. And the ones that are selling that are in Delrin are going for $100 to $175. Anyway, guys, love you. Happy Saturday. I hope all y'all, get in there where you fit in there. Old Big Jim from South Mississippi finally getting the weather up to 60 degrees today. Like I say, love y'all. Y'all are my family. I appreciate every one of you. Don't care if I get another subscriber at this point. I did my 500 because that's what I do. I got it to 500. I'm living life large. Y'all have a great day. Rule number 9.